Strickland was a corporal in the U.S. Army. A young man trained for combat, he commanded a squad patrolling some of the more dangerous areas of Iraq. One day, that all changed.
It was on July 22nd. We were driving down a route in Ramadi, and on our way back to the base, my truck was hit by a 160 millimeter artillery round in a propane tank, and it blew my truck up, and then I shattered both my legs, shattered my skull. I had third-degree burns. I lost my right hand and blind in the right eye.
Doctors stabilized his condition and flew him to Walter Reed Army Medical Center.
And I was down there for almost 2 years doing physical therapy, occupational therapy, going through surgeries.
It was there that a friend and fellow wounded veteran first introduced him to an organization that gave Chris new hope.
One day we were walking and we saw him with a dog, and we asked him about it, and he told us about NEADS and about the Canines for Combat Veterans.
NEADS is a non-profit organization that has been training dogs to assist the physically disabled and hearing impaired for over 30 years. They launched Canines for Combat Veterans in 2006 in response to a new challenge.
This need was generated because of the large numbers of servicemen and women returning from Iraq and Afghanistan with multiple injuries, and these men and women are not turning to crutches and wheelchairs, but instead are using assistance dogs to help them.
I thought it'd be cool because I grew up with dogs, so having a dog to, help me out in my daily life, I thought it was awesome.
Chris soon found himself in Princeton, Massachusetts, at the NEADS National Headquarters, getting acquainted with his new service dog, Ruthie, a Labrador Retriever.
Thank you.
Really praise her.
Thank you, good girl.
We'd use a 2-week training process to get the client and the dog working successfully together. So the first couple of days is obedience, mostly bonding, so teaching the dog that everything that it wants comes from its client.
Ruthie up, nudge, Ruthie nudge.
Over the next week, the second week of training, there's a little bit more intensive task work, but by that point you can tell if the match is going to work or not.
Me and Ruthie, we bonded right away from the first day that we got her. They suit your lifestyle a lot better. A 22-year-old walking around with a cane, a 22-year-old walking around with a dog. It's a lot easier for us to deal with, and it doesn't make you feel like you're hurt.
The dog is the reason many times you have to get up in the morning, because you have to get up and walk your dog, and that dog is helping you be able to walk independently.
Like most assistance dogs, Ruthie began life at NEADS as a puppy here at the Early Learning Center.
We use mostly Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, Poodles, Smooth-Coated Collies, some mixed breeds from the shelters also. Joel, come! 80% of what your dog learns, they learn between 3 weeks and 16 weeks of age. So that's why we really focus on teaching the skills that they'll need to learn for the future at that time.
Oh, George, who did you bring with us today?
Veterinarians donate their time to keep the puppies in good health and make sure they are suitable candidates for service dogs.
The combat veteran dog needs to be structurally sound. We make sure that the dog is free of any skeletal problems such as in the hips, elbows, or shoulders, because they will do a dual purpose. They will both serve as a walker dog to support the veteran, and they will also serve the role of an assistance dog of picking up dropped articles.
When the puppies are old enough, they enter the Prison Pup Partnership Program and are taught by inmates for the next year before returning to NEADS for their formal training.
When the puppy comes back to NEADS, their formal training gets stepped up. That is when these dogs are taught the light switches, the retrieves, the specialty things that they might need to know for the exact individual that they're going to be matched with.
Joyce Van Horn, a 27-year naval veteran, was matched with Brigham. He helps her with her hearing loss as well as her walking.
Oh, see? Oh, I'm here. Boy, I heard that, Brigham.
Joyce was injured when an aircraft was suddenly launched from the carrier she was serving on.
Well, when it flew off, I was underneath it, in the floor right below it, and I got caught in the concussion blast. So it's a big, long sound that goes boom, and it just blew me right out. Well, the hardest thing right now is my balance. When my ear was damaged, it affected the balance, and I walk like I'm drunk. Good boy, side. Good boy. I feel like as a veteran, I'm getting something back. I mean, getting a hearing aid stuffed in your ear is not compensation for losing your hearing. You can give me all the money you want. This has given me something I can work with. Brigham lets me walk again. He lets me,
Joyce and Brigham will be graduating in a few days, and before the ceremony, all the dogs pose for a class picture.
May I introduce the Canine for Combat Veterans team of Joyce Van Horn and Hearing Dog Brigham.
Graduations are a great party, and they're the launching of these service dog teams.
I wanted to thank NEADS for reaching out to the veterans. I really thank them for training me as well as they've trained Brigham, and tomorrow we're off to Virginia for another life.
Chris has come to the ceremony on behalf of a fellow veteran who has been recently hospitalized.
Chris is a great kid. I can't get over the attitude that he has, and it's typical of the returning veteran today. He still looks at the things that make him happy and the things that he feels lucky about.
We went from fighting on the battlefield to laying in a bed and having people take care of us, back to being independent and doing everything on our own. And every one of us, that's all we strive for.
He's really 100% raising money for the program and letting the other veterans know about it, which is greatly needed.
It costs approximately $20,000 for us to produce an assistance dog. The dogs that are placed in our Canine for Combat Veterans program are certainly given to them at no charge. We depend on community support, we depend on our private donor base, we have no state or federal funding.
People who have been over and served have sacrificed so much, and the people who get hurt, they sacrifice for the rest of their lives. So I think it's a great way to give back to the soldiers. It makes you feel like you didn't get hurt for nothing, like people really do care.